Welcome to the Daily Fantasy 5 for this July 25th. It's Thursday and episode 155. Today we are bringing you the 5 things you need to know in the world of fantasy sports. My name is Scott Gerson. I'm your host. And today we're talking a little Chicago Cubs. Are they in free fall? Well, I don't know. Probably not. I think they're still leading the division, but they have lost 3 out of the last 4. And there is some news out of Chicago. So we'll talk about that. Then we're going to break down some NFL news and notes here. We've got Emmanuel Sanders. Some news on his injury, Ajayi being cleared to play, and Trent Williams of the Washington Redskins holding out. So we'll get to all that after word from our sponsor, www.mathradio.com, where you can go get an online math course for as little as $9.99 to help your kids ages 7 through 17 get better grades in school, score higher on exams, and even get into college. Mathradio.com. All right. So let's start with the Cubs. They are sending down slumping second baseman Addison Russell. We thought he was going to be a perennial all-star. Well, apparently he stinks. He's batting .247 on the season with 6 home runs and 146 at-bats. Yes, he stinks, and so do the Cubs. The Cubs, they're horrible. I don't like them, and they should lose forever. I'm not biased or anything. No. Anyway, Kris Bryant also exited the game yesterday as the actual fantasy news here today with a knee injury. So they are off today. They'll be back tomorrow on Friday. He expects to play, but whenever this kind of thing happens, I want to mention it. We had the same thing happen with Trout about a month ago where he thought he was going to be fine. Then he ended up missing, I think, 3 or 4 games. So it wasn't anything serious, but if he's in your lineup or if you're just, going about and starting him in daily, you want to keep that in check. So I would not be starting Kris Bryant on Friday. Hold off, see if he plays and see if he's 100%. So, yeah, he's batting, .299 with 21 home runs on the season. So he's having a very nice year. The Cubs will be even in bigger trouble if this knee injury persists. So, yes, are the Cubs in free fall? Absolutely. They stink. They're horrible. Sell all your Cubs stock. Although they did do well for me the other night when I was predicting a pitcher's duel. I think they only gave up 7 runs total in the two teams combined when it was Bumgarner against Yu Darvish. So I like that. And in the Yankees game, yes, it took some extra innings, but they scored a boatload of runs. But yeah, I'm not going to pat myself on the back because I normally don't do too well with baseball. That's why I like to stick with injuries when it comes to the baseball fantasy stuff. All right, let's move over to the NFL where I feel a little bit more comfortable here. Broncos wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders. So he was back in his first team drills yesterday. He participated in 7-on-7 drills. Previously, he'd only done individual workouts, so he's coming off of the Achilles injury. So it's good to see him back on the field. Let's see here. In the last 2 seasons, he's only played 12 games each. This is his 10th season, so he's not a young guy. He is, 3 years removed from being a 1,000-yard receiver. In 2014 through 2016, he gained 1,000 yards each season. Those days might be behind him. He's going 43rd in ADP right now, whereas Courtland Sutton is going right ahead of him at the number 42 wide receiver. So would I rather have Sanders at number 40 at 43 among receivers or Sutton at 42? I'd definitely rather have Sutton. He's younger. There's a new quarterback in Denver, so it's not like his prolonged stay there is going to give him some kind of advantage. So I like Courtland Sutton actually a lot better than Emmanuel Sanders, even if Emmanuel Sanders is healthy. Our fourth story of the day is Ajayi was cleared by the famous Dr. James Andrews today, or it might have actually happened yesterday, but they reported it today. He is a free agent. I believe he played the first, 5-6 games with the Eagles last year before being injured. It wasn't his Achilles. It was his ACL that was injured. So he's back ready to play. I have 3 possible destinations that I would like to see for Ajayi. All right, first of all is Green Bay. I think Aaron Jones could use a backup. I think Ajayi would fit nicely there, and that would be a good match for that offense. It seems like Green Bay is in a win-now mode. They spent a ton of money on defense. Another running back in that stable I think would help out that offense as well. That'd be a nice fit in Green Bay. My second choice would be in Denver. I like Phillip Lindsay a lot, but I think his stat was last year he never had over 19 carries. So I don't think you want him carrying, a full workload, maybe, 70% of the carries. And I don't really trust Freeman. So I think Ajayi would fit in there nicely as the backup running back. And finally, I've got the Cowboys. So I didn't realize this, but the situation behind Ezekiel Elliott is scary. There's 2 rookies and then a guy I've never heard of. So I would like the Cowboys. It would be my number one spot for Ajayi. Definitely some Zeke insurance. If Zeke goes down, they're going to need some guys to play, and this team is determined to run the ball. So I think Ajayi would be a great landing spot in the Dallas Cowboys. He'd be a great fit there. I don't know if the running style is exactly the same, but I think he can fill in and get the job done if Zeke does go down for a game or two. All right, our final story of the day is Washington Redskins left tackle Trent Williams is going to be a no-show for training camp. So apparently he had like a growth on his head, and he's wanted it to be checked out and removed, I guess, for 2 years, and it didn't get done. And the Redskins claim that they scheduled all these appointments for him, and he never showed up. So it's a lot of he said, she said stuff. But essentially, Trent Williams is not happy. I mean, would you be happy playing for the Redskins? Probably not. This might be the worst offense in football. If Trent Williams does not play, he's their best player, hands down, on the offense, right? This offense is going to be dreadful. I'm talking like I might not draft a defense at all in a standard draft and just stream whoever is playing against the Redskins every week because this is going to get ugly. Let's see here. Their quarterbacks are Colt McCoy, Case Keenum, and Hoskins, the rookie. Yikes. That's not, building confidence in anyone. At running back, they have Adrian Peterson. I don't know. He's super old. Thompson, I don't have any faith in. I like Geis. He was my number one running back last year behind Barkley, of course. But he was my boy. I thought he was going to be awesome. And he's hurt all last year. He's still hurt now. So no real weapons at running back. I mean, I don't count Peterson as a weapon anymore. And then a wide receiver, you have Josh Doxson. He's had his fourth year, hasn't really done anything. I don't know. What do you expect from this guy? Who else do they have? Paul Richardson, Torrey Quinn. Yeah, there's nothing from a fantasy standpoint. I don't want any of these guys anymore. I had guys in my top 20 at one point this offseason, but he's just too injured. The backfield's too crowded. The offensive line is going to be in shambles. They're going to stack the box. They're not going to be able to throw. I mean, honestly, this is going to be the worst offense in football. And I think I predicted Washington to win 6 or 7 games. I might have to change that prediction. Man, just looking at this offense, it's going to be rough. I mean, really, really, really rough. So avoid the Redskins offense. I wouldn't draft any Redskin at all. Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's all you need to know today in the world of fantasy sports. Those are the 5 things we are bringing at you. Again, next week we are going to break down our top 100. Hopefully I'll have a guest in on the show to kind of ridicule me and tell me what an idiot I am about my picks. Hopefully it'll be one of my friends from my wedding, Chris Bolin. Went to college with him. I play fantasy football every week and daily. Crushed him last year. He might have a differing opinion, but hopefully we'll have him on the show. He can kind of go through my rankings with me, and that'll be next week. We'll be back tomorrow to break down all the news, and we will see you then. All right. Check out www.mathradio.com. Give us a like, a subscribe, all that good stuff, and 5-star rating and review on iTunes and Spotify. All right. Gucci. Bye.